The jungle roared with restrained fury, a living tapestry of endless greens and treacherous shadows. Juan Morales, a park ranger hardened by years of tireless patrols, lay on the damp ground, his right leg twisted at an impossible angle, a burning pain stealing his breath. Blood seeped through his torn pants, staining the earth a dark red that drew invisible ants. He had fallen from a rocky ledge while pursuing poachers, but now that didn't matter. What mattered was the sound, a deep, primordial growl that made the leaves vibrate as if the earth itself protested. From the underbrush emerged Kibo, the alpha gorilla of the troop. His black eyes, cold like obsidian, locked onto Juan. He stood nearly 2 meters tall, with a barrel-wide chest and arms that could knock down a young tree in one blow. Kibo didn't charge, not immediately. He wasn't one to attack blindly. He straightened, pounding the ground with his knuckled fists, the drumming echoing in Juan's chest like a foreign heartbeat lodged too close. The air thickened with the musky scent of the great ape, wet earth and restrained ferocity. Juan's rifle lay several meters away. He raised a trembling hand, not to defend himself, but to plead silently. Kibo stepped forward and Juan's world shrank to that moment. The alpha, the injured man, and the jungle as witness to an uncertain fate. This is Juan Morales, a 42-year-old park ranger in the heart of Virunga National Park in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. He is not a movie hero with sculpted muscles and dramatic speeches. Juan is an ordinary man with premature wrinkles carved by relentless sun and torrential rains. Every morning, before dawn paints the sky pink, Juan wakes in his splintered wooden cabin at the park's edge. A wall clock, his late father's gift, ticks at 4:30 a.m., matching his pulse. He rises with a dull groan, his body protesting nights spent in makeshift hammocks during long patrols. In the tiny kitchen, he lights a kerosene lamp that casts dancing shadows on the mud walls. He prepares breakfast, a handful of ugali, the maize porridge of the humble, and strong black tea that burns the tongue but awakens the soul. As he eats, his eyes fall on the framed photo on the table, his wife Aisha with her radiant smile, and his 8-year-old daughter Sarah with perfect braids and curious eyes like his. "For you," Juan whispers, kissing his fingertips and touching the glass. Aisha teaches in a nearby village and Sarah dreams of becoming a veterinarian. Juan loves this job not for the meager pay, barely enough for rice and medicine, but because it is how he protects the legacy he hopes to leave his daughter. A wild, untouched forest where gorillas like Kibo can live free. His gear is humble. Worn boots that creak, canvas pants patched with leather, a sweat-stained khaki shirt, a heavy, bulletproof vest, reminder that the worst predators don't always have fangs. His rifle, an old AK-47 inherited from his grandfather, not to kill, he says, but to deter. The jungle is not the enemy, he always tells rookies. It is an ally, if you respect it. Juan knows every path like the lines on his palm. He has seen elephants grazing at dawn, hippos sinking into muddy rivers, and leopards stalking twilight shadows. But none has marked him like Kibo, the alpha of the northern sector. Kibo was not just a gorilla. He was a king. Juan once saw Kibo defeat a young silverback challenger, not by killing but by demonstrating overwhelming strength and discipline. A true alpha reigns without needing corpses. From that day on, Juan understood. Kibo was not a beast. He was a guardian. But the jungle has other enemies. Poachers, men smuggling rifles from Rwanda, lured by the price of rhino horn and gorilla pelts, worth more on the black market than a year's salary. Juan had been tracking one group for months, a phantom leader with a scarred cheek. On that fateful day, the air was thick and suffocating. Juan discovered a gorilla trap hidden under leaves. He descended too quickly, his foot slipping on moisture-slick moss. He tumbled, crashing onto roots and tearing his leg on a sharp branch. Pain exploded white. He blacked out. When he awoke, his radio was broken, and Kibo had come, not as savior, but as judge. Kibo approached slowly with deliberate gravity. His shadow engulfed Juan. The Alpha's eyes searched him with ancient intelligence. Juan tried to crawl toward his rifle, screaming inside his mind, "I can't die here, not like this, not before protecting my daughter's future." A few feet from him spilled from his backpack a wrinkled photo of Sarah holding a stuffed gorilla. Kibo paused, examined it, then moved on. Hours passed. Day turned to night. Cold seeped in. Then, a new sound, a hiss. From the darkness slid a gaboon viper, 2 meters long, venom dripping like acid. Drawn to the scent of Juan's infected wound, Juan couldn't move, but Kibo did. The gorilla stepped between Juan and the serpent. He didn't hesitate. He struck, roared, and drove the viper away, not as a beast, but as a protector. As night froze the jungle, Kibo gathered leaves and branches, pushing them toward Juan, making him a bed, shielding him from the cold. Then Kibo lay nearby, radiating warmth like a living furnace. No words, no fear, just survival. Shared. At dawn, rescuers arrived. They froze at the sight, Juan, injured, wrapped in leaves, Kibo beside him, calm, unthreatening. "Don't shoot!" Juan gasped. "He saved me." Kibo locked eyes with Juan one last time. A farewell. A promise. Then he walked back into the forest, dissolving into green shadow like a legend returning to myth. Juan survived. He healed. His family held him. The story spread. Donations increased. The myth of Kibo, the guardian of Virunga, grew. Juan now tells others, Kibo is not a monster. He is a king with honor. We protect him, because he protects the forest and the future.